Is it Jamie right up here in front? Can I put my notes on your table in case I absolutely just shit myself? Perfect, thank you. Oh. All right, so, hi guys, I'm Rachel. How's everyone tonight? Awesome. All right, well, so it's convenient timing because my husband and I are just about to celebrate our 3rd year of being married, which is, I think, pretty cool. I never thought I would get married until I met my husband, and genuinely, best thing I've ever done. Like, hands down, the coolest thing I've ever done. I found, like, the smartest, funniest, most wonderful person to be around, and then I tricked him into being financially responsible for me as an immigrant. But no, genuinely, it is, like, the coolest thing, but it's also really fucking weird. Like, if you think about it, it's weird. We don't think about it being weird because we just all know so many people that are married. And we're like, that's a normal thing. And then you get within the bonds of marriage and you're like, this is some weird shit. And, you know, it's basically 2 people looking at each other and being like, I love you so much, I want to do paperwork about it. Forever. And like you do, like from the moment you get married until you die, you're doing paperwork about it. And like, if you're lucky enough, like my husband, to marry an import, every 2 years and 9 months, you get to drive to a magical place like Slough or Peterborough, and you get to go to an office building and prove to the government that you still love each other. And you get to go into a windowless office with a woman probably named like Linda or something, and you get to show her pictures of like your wedding and your vacation. And you can be like, look, we're still in love in France here. And this is Christmas with all of our family staying in our 2-bedroom house. So while we are very much in love here, we hate each other and everyone in that room and ourselves. And then while we're at it, here's our council bill and our Wi-Fi bill and also our vet bill from when our dog was humping his toy too much and we thought something was wrong with him. We're pretty serious, him and I, and it's a weird relationship though, right? Because it's like different than any other relationship you'll ever have. It genuinely is. For 3 years I worked as a registrar and conducted weddings here, and before I got married, if I had a nervous bride, I'd be like, don't worry, nothing changes. You've done all the hard bits, you've moved in together, you've been in love, blah, 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 blah. No, it changes. Like, I don't know what it is, but then suddenly you just feel really different about this person, and something shifts. And one of the first things that shifts is like the language that people use around it, because when you're dating, it's like whimsical. You're like, we're dating, and that's my boyfriend, and I'm his girlfriend. And then even when you're engaged, you're like, my fiance, we're affianced. And then you get married, and you're like, we're married. That is my husband, and I am his wife, and we are married. Oh, like it's just a different language. It's an entirely different thing. But it is a different relationship because dating is like a David Attenborough documentary. Like, it's Planet Earth. You know, you see those early doors couples, or the couple in the back, really, and you're like, gosh, you guys are just, you're putting so much energy into showing each other how into each other you are. Like, it's just so much work, you know? And then you see, like, it's the David Attenborough documentary. You've all seen the scene. It's in a jungle somewhere, and there's like 2 birds, and one of the birds starts doing the mating dance, and they're like, look at me, look at my feathers. I always put this much effort in. I'll look like this forever. Do you want to fuck? And then, like, the other bird just like bends over, like, that'll do. Sorry. She's like, that'll do. Fine, hop on. You know? But they never show like the next episode where the birds have like mated for life. They've gone back to the nest for like 4 or 5 years, you know? And then one bird starts doing like mating dance, and they're like, hey, get off your phone. Hey. It was hot when you did the dishes without me asking you to do the dishes. Fuck. And then the other bird just like looks up from their phone like, why are you being weird? What are you doing? Look at this picture of a cat playing piano. Or like the next episode where one of the birds just kind of vaguely waves their hand around like a semi-erect penis. Like, should we do something about this, or should we finish that murder docuseries on Netflix? Probably not. You know, because dating just takes a lot of energy. When you get married, you're bonded on something else. And what that is that you have to care about your spouse's super fucking weird hobbies. Like, genuinely, suddenly you're invested in shit that you didn't even know existed, and you wish it didn't, but now you care. And like, I mean, unfortunately, you know how it is. When you get married, if any of you are married, you guys, you get in, you get comfortable, you get locked in, and they're like, let me show you my taxidermy room. You Fortunately for my husband, we were friends for 7 years before we got together. And what he knew of me was that I was an American attorney making American attorney money. And I just had this quirky little hobby where sometimes I'd fly to England and I'd go to museums and historical sites and I'd write a little blog, and isn't that fun? And then I was like, what if though, I quit that big fancy job and I dropped my entire life and I moved across the globe during a global pandemic and became a historian and never made money again. Like, what if I was just broke professionally forever? And my husband was like, well, I guess I've signed up to this now. Like, I'm financially responsible for you, Linda will find me. So I guess we're on board. And that's hard for him because he's a Formula One racing engineer. So like his whole job is taking the world's most technologically advanced motorsport machines in the world and then making them more technologically advanced. And then he married like an academic feral cave troll that's just like, I don't leave the house, except on the weekends where I'm like, come with me and I will show you a castle. And then I drive him far into the countryside to a field with a mound in it, and I'm like, this is a very important mound. Many people died there. Castle, you like it. And my husband's like, that's great. Where are we? Why am I here? Like, that's a mound. And I'm like, but people died. And he's very patient with me. But when we got married, his hobby was photography. And I was like, cool, landscapes, we're gonna travel, it's gonna be gorgeous. And he was like, no, I'm into product photography. And if you don't know what product photography is, yeah, you do. Every ad you see, every billboard, every bus that has the up-close pictures that are like really in-depth and they make you wanna buy that thing, that's what product photography is. So then I'm thinking, makeup, jewelry, things I get to keep afterwards. And he was like, nay, nay, no, no. And I'll tell you what you will never get over when you find the love of your life, sweating in the sweltering heat in the garage in the summer, just crouched, breathing, heavy, steady, staring down the lens of a camera at a chicken nugget. What are you doing? Just trying to get the reflection of the light and the ketchup just right. I don't think I signed up for this, but okay. And then he turned 30, and he was like, I have a whole new personality based around two things. One, home automation. And two, running marathons. Not that original. But I'm on board, because if it makes him happy, it makes me happy. So we automated our whole house, and now all of the bodily comfort functions of our home is run by a demon fairy named Alexa. And she only understands British accents. The 4 out of the 5 that we have only understand British accents. The one in the kitchen is my only friend. She understands me. But that means that on any given day in our house, you will hear me somewhere arguing in a maniacal, twisted, sad, Oliver Twist voice. Just, Alexa, please. Please have small light. Just small light, please. Because he removed the light switches. He got rid of them altogether. Yeah, that motherfucker went, we don't need that outdated technology. Imperial Alexa will take care of this for us from now on. Except for my one homie in the kitchen, which occasionally you will hear my husband begging with her in the only American accent he can do. And he will just be maniacally whispering to her like, listen here, Alexa. I need you to set a 10-minute timer and do not make me make her come in here. But marathons was a different breed because you have to invest in marathons, right? Like I have to go with him to marathons, and he was trying to involve me in this, so he's showing me pictures of like inspirational runners and videos of inspirational runners to try and make me want to like show up for him and hold a sign for him and then rub ointment on the things that are chafed afterwards. And he's like, this woman broke so many records, watch this, it's so inspirational. And what he shows me is a woman waddling towards the finish line. And there's all these photographers and videographers trying to capture her cross the finish line. And she stops before she does, and she looks up and she goes, could you not film me from behind because I shit myself a couple miles back? And then she like waddled across the finish line. And I was like, man, she broke some records, but I don't know if it was worth it. Like, okay, because that's a thing that I guess just happens when you run marathons. Your nipples chafe and bleed, and then your body gives up sphincter first, I guess. And I then had to think to myself, if I watch the love of my life shit himself in skin-tight spandex mini shorts and a vest and then waddle across the finish line with bleeding nipples, what is that going to do to our marriage? And the answer is, as long as he's smiling, covered in shit, I'm happy. That's what marriage is. Thanks, guys.